Hi everyone. Hope you all are good. We are here for grade 3 math. So you can find all the lessons on aplusstudents.com. You have to log in there using your email address and password is provided by the administrator. Then you have to select grade 3 math. Scroll down to. Then you have to select math from the subject tab and scroll down to grade 3 math. There you can find a list of the chapters. We're going to start with the chapter estimation and rounding. The lessons we're going to cover today are rounding nearest 10 or 100 only, rounding, rounding money amounts, and rounding puzzles. So let's just start with the lesson. Okay, here I'm on the chapter estimation and rounding. So let's just start with the first lesson, that is rounding nearest 10 or 100 only. So let's just start with the first example. The first example is, what is 402 rounded to the nearest 100? So how do we round 412? So you have to round 412 to the nearest 100, right? So just look at the digit that is at the hundreds position. Here is 412 and the digit at the 100 position is 4, right? So you have to look at the digit on the right side of the 100 position. At the right side of the 100 you have 1. You have to compare this digit to 5. 1 is less than 5, right? 1 is smaller than 5. That means you have to round on the same 100, right? Write 4 as it is and replace the other two digits with 0. So it would be 400, right? So 412 is rounded to 400. So the correct option is 400. The next one is, what is 680 rounded to the nearest 100? Okay, so you have 680, right? 6 is at the hundreds position. Right next to 100 you have 8. You have to compare 8 to 5. 8 is greater than 5, right? So you have to round up. Round up means you need to add 1 to hundreds digit. 6 plus 1 is 7 and you have to replace the other two digits with 0. That means 680 is rounded to 700. A bit easy concept is like here you have 600, we know 680 is between 600 and 700, right? So here you have 650. 680 is greater than 650 around here, right? So 680 is near to 700, right? So it would be rounded off to, if the number is greater than like the middle one, 650, that means it is rounded to the to the next 100, right? Let's just start with the practice questions. Okay, the first one is, what is 717 rounded to the nearest 100, right? So 717 to the nearest 100. Okay, here it is, 717. Okay, so the digit at the hundreds position is 7. Right next to 7 you have 1. 1 is, you have to compare 1 to 5, so 1 is less than 5, right? That means you have to round on the same 100. Just write 7 as it is and replace the other two digits with 0, so it would be 700, right? 717 is rounded off to 700. Very good. Okay, the next one is, what is 27 rounded to the nearest 10? Okay, so the digit is 27 and you have to round off to nearest 10, right? So here you have 27. So the digit at the 10th position is 2, right? So the next digit is 7. You have always, like, you have to round to the nearest 10. So you have to look for the 10th digit. And the right next to 10 you have 7. So you have to compare this digit to 5. 7 is greater than 5. That means you have to round Up you have to round to the next 10. 2 plus 1 is 3, and you have to replace the 7 with 0, so it would be rounded off to 30. So the correct option is 30, right? The correct option is 30. Okay, the next one is, what is 463 rounded to the nearest 100? Okay, so you have to round up 463. Okay, so 4 is at the hundreds position, right? The next one to 4 is 6. You have to compare this digit to 5. 6 is greater than 5, right? That means you have to round up. You have to round up. Round up means 4 plus 1 is 5, and you have to replace other two digits, so it would be rounded off to 500. So the correct option is 500, right? So 463 is rounded off to 500. The correct option is 500. What is 67 rounded to the nearest 10? So you have 67, right? So 6 is the digit at the tens position. On the right hand side, you have 7. You have to compare this digit to 5. So 7 is greater than 5, right? That means you have to round up. 6 plus 1 is 7, and replace the other digit with 0. So it would be rounded off to 70. The correct option is 70. So the correct option is 70. The next one is, what is 680 rounded to nearest 100? You have 680. So the digit at the 100 position is 6. On the right hand side, you have 8. You have to compare the digit to 5. 8 is greater than 5. That means you have to round to the next 100, right? 6 plus 1 is 7, and replace the other two digits with 0. So it would be rounded off to 700, right? So the correct option is 700. What is 549 rounded to the nearest 100? So you have to round off 549, right? 549. So the digit that is at the hundreds position is 5. If you already know the answers, you can please write down the answers in the chat box. The right hand side you have 4. 4 is less than 5, right? That means you have to round on the same 100, just replace the other two digits with 0. So it would be rounded off to 500, right? So 549 is rounded off to 500. Oh, it was 594. If it was 594, it would be rounded to 600, right? What is 51 rounded to nearest 10? You have 51. The digit that is at the 10th position is 5. On the right hand side, you have 1. You have to compare 1 to 5. 1 is less than 5, right? That means you have to round on the same. 10, it would be rounded off to 50. The correct option is 50, right? So you have to round off 55 to 51 to 50. The correct option is 50. What is 299 rounded to the nearest 100? So which is the correct option? If you already know the answers, you can please write down the answers in the chat box. 299 is rounded off to 300. The correct option is 300. Okay, what is 140 rounded to the nearest 100? Which is the correct option? 140 is rounded off to 140 is rounded off to 100. More, you can round off 100 to 100. Okay, the next one is what is 815 rounded to the nearest 10? You have to round the 10 digit, right? So 815 is rounded off to, yes, very good. It would be rounded off to 820, right? Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. And next lesson is rounding. Let's just start with the next lesson. Okay, what is 522 rounded to the nearest 100? That is exactly the same thing. You have to write 522. So 522 is rounded off to 500, right? You have to use the exactly same method we just did. Okay, let's just start with the practice questions. Okay, what is 12 rounded to the nearest 10? Which is the correct option? 'What is 12 rounded to the nearest 10? Which is the correct option? You have to round 12, right? The digit that is at the tens position is 1. Yes, very good. It would be rounded off to 10. So the correct option is 10. What is 830 rounded to the nearest 100? Which is the correct option? 830 is rounded off to 800. You have to round on the same 100, not 700. It would be rounded off to 800. The correct option is 800. What is 47 rounded to the nearest 10? Which is the correct option? 47 is rounded off to 40, right? When you round off 47, it would be rounded off to 40, 50, right? Because 7 is greater than 5. 47 you have to round off, right? So The right digit right next to 10 is 7. 7 is greater than 5. That means you have to round up. 4 plus 1 is 5 and you have to replace the digit with 0. So it would be rounded off to 50. Right? So the correct option is 50. What is 393 rounded to the nearest 100? So how can you round off 393? Which is the correct option? You have 393. Here you have 393. 3 is at the hundreds position. On the right hand side you have 9. 9 is greater than 5. That means you have to round up. 3 plus 1 is 4 and you have to replace the other digits with 0. So it would be rounded off to 400. The correct option is 400. Right? So 393 is rounded off to 400. What is 672 rounded to the nearest 10? So you have 672. You have to round off to nearest 10, right? Just be careful when reading the question. Just look at the tens digit and the digit on the right of the tens digit. That would be 2. 2 is less than 5, right? That means you have to round on the same 10. So it would be 670. Is there any question, Prayan? The correct option is 670. What is 856 rounded to the nearest 100? Eight hundred and 56 is rounded to, it would be rounded to 900. Very good. The correct option is 900. 900 would be rounded to 900. What is 872 rounded to the nearest 10, which is the correct option? You can ask question if you have any. Very good. You have to round to nearest 10, not on nearest 100, right? So 872 is rounded off to 870. What is 328 rounded to nearest 100, which is the correct option? 328 to nearest 100. Very good. 328 is rounded to 300. What is 564 rounded to nearest 10, which is the correct option? 564 to nearest 10. So which is the correct option? 564 is rounded to 560. Very good. What is 416 rounded to the nearest 100? Which is the correct option? Very good. 416 is rounded off to 400. The correct option is 400. Okay, we're done with the lesson. You can complete the rest of the questions by yourself later today. So let's just start with the next lesson. Okay, the next one is rounding money amounts. Okay, so you have to round now money amounts. What is $3.75 rounded to nearest dollar? Okay, 3.75. We have to round 3.75 to nearest dollar, right? So you have to look at the decimal, right? Here you have 7. 7 is greater than 5, right? That means you have to round up, so it would be rounded off to 4.00 or 4, right? So the correct option is 4. Let's just start with the test questions. Okay, what is 3.11 rounded to nearest dollar? So which is the correct option? You have to round 3.11. Very good. 3.11 is rounded to nearest dollar. That would be 3. The correct option is 3. What is 3.30 rounded to nearest dollar? So 3.30 is rounded off to? Yes, it is rounded off to 3. The correct option is 3. What is 3.83 rounded to the nearest dollar? Which is the correct option? Yes, very good. The correct option is 4. 3.83 is rounded off to 4. What is 1.01 rounded to the nearest dollar? Which is the correct option? 1.01 is rounded off to 1. Very good. What is 5.07 rounded to nearest dollar? Which is the correct option? The correct option is 5. Very good. 5.07 is rounded off to 5. How do we do it? Okay, Let me explain the next one. What is 1.61 rounded to the nearest dollar? Let's just start with 1.61. Okay, so you have to round to nearest dollar, right? The dollar is this one, right? Just look at the next digit to this one, right? Next to this, you have 6. Just compare the 6 to 5. 6 is greater than 5, right? If the next number is greater than 5, you have to round up. Round up means add 1 to the decimal. 1 plus 1 is 2, and replace the other two digits with 0. So it would be rounded off to 2. It's okay, I can explain. So 1.61 is rounded off to 2, right? Okay, the next one is, what is 2.43 rounded to the nearest decimal? Okay, you have 2.43. Just listen to me carefully. 2.43. That is the dollar, right? That would be the pennies, I think. So just look at the dollar. Dollar is 2. So right next digit to this one is 4. Just compare the digit to 5. 4 is greater than 5 or less than 5? 4 is less than 5. That means you have to round on the same dollar, and you have to replace the other two digits with 0. So it would be rounded off to 2.0. Right? So the correct option is 2.0 or 2. Okay, the next one is, what is 5.44 rounded to nearest dollar? Okay, you have to round off 5.44. Okay, just look at the dollar. Right next to dollar, you have 4. 4 is greater than 5 or less than 5? 4 is less than 5. That means you have to round on the same dollar, and the next two digits are, you have to replace them with 0. So it would be rounded off to 5. You got it now? It would be 5. The correct option is 5. Okay, the next one is 5.85 to the nearest dollar. Okay, 5.85. Okay, here you have 5. Right next to this is 8. You have to compare the digit to 8. 8 is greater than 5, right? That means you have to round up because this digit is greater than 5. Round up means you need to add 1 to the dollar, and you have to replace the other two digits with 0. So it would be rounded off to 6. Okay. Do you got it now? It would be 6. 600, not, it is just 6. What is 7.13 rounded to the nearest dollar. Okay, so you have to round off 7.13. Okay, so here is it. It is here is the dollar, right? So the next digit is 1. You have to compare this digit to 5. 1 is less than 5, right? If it is less than 5, 1 is less than 5, you have to round on the same dollar, just replace the other two digits with 0. So it would be rounded off to 7. So the correct option is 7. The next one is, what is 2.86 rounded to the nearest dollar? Taiwo, can you please answer? 2.86. Okay, so here is the dollar. Just look at the next digit, it is 8. 8 is greater than 5 or less than 5? 8 is greater than 5, right? That means you have to round up. 2 plus 1 is 3 and replace the other two digits with 0, so it would be $3. So the correct option is 3. Okay, what is 9.44 rounded to the nearest dollar? So which is the correct option? How do you round off 9.44? 9.44 is rounded to 9. The correct option is 9. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. We are going to start with the next lesson, that is rounding puzzles. Let's just start with the next one. A number has digits 7 and 1. To the nearest 10, the numbers rounds to 70. Basically, you are given the rounded value and the digits. You have to find the number. Which number you can make from 7 and 1? Two digits you can make, right? 17 and 70, right? So if you make the digit 17, it would be rounded off to, okay, the digit 7 and 1 can form two numbers, 71 and 17. To the nearest 10, 71 rounds to 70. If you round 71, it would be rounded to 70. To the nearest 10, 17 rounds to 20. We are looking for a number that rounds to 71. That means the digit is 71. Okay, then a number has digits 2 and 7. To the to the nearest 10, the number rounds to 30. So the digits 2 and 7 can make two digits, right? Which two digits? 22 and 27 and 72, right? So when you round off 27, it would be rounded to 30. And when you round off 72, it would be rounded to 72. So we have to looking for a number that rounds to 30. So it would be 27, right? Just be careful by reading the question thing. You'll find your answer. The questions are very easy. Let me just start with the practice questions. The digit in a certain number is 2 and 1. To the nearest 10, the number rounds to 10. What is the number? Okay, you're given two digits, 2 and 1, right? So you can make two digits from these two numbers, right? Which two digits? 12 and so basically you have to see out of these two number which number is rounded to 10. So which is the correct option? Which number is rounded to 10? It would be 12. When you round off 12, it would be rounded to 10. So the correct option is 12, right? The digits in a certain number are 6 and 2, right? To the nearest 10, the number rounds to 30. What is the number? Which is the correct option? You have two digits, 2 and 6, right? You can make two digits from these two numbers, 26 and 62. Which number is rounded off to 30? It would be 26. 26 is rounded off to 30. So the correct option is 26. The digit at a certain number are 7 and 8. So to the nearest 10, the number rounds to 90. What is the number? Which is the correct option? You have two digits, 7 and 8. So you can make two digits. They are 78 and 87. You have to see which one is rounded off to 90. So which is the correct option? Which digit round off to 90? Very good. That would be 87. 87 is rounded off to 90. The correct option is 87. Okay, a number has a digits 8 and 2. To the nearest 10, the number rounds to 30. So which is the correct option? So by using the digits 2 and 8, you can make two digits, right? They are 82 and 28. So which one rounded off to 30? Very good. That would be 28 that rounds to 30. A number has digits 5 and 2. To the nearest 10, the number rounds to 30. What is the number? Which is the correct option? Very good. The number is, the digit is 25. That would be rounded to 30. A number has digits 3 and 4. To the nearest 10, the number rounds to 40. So which is the correct option? Which is the correct option? 43 is rounded to. Yes, you can make two digits. They are 34 and 43. So 43 is rounded off to 40. The correct option is 43. The digits in a certain number are 9 and 8. To the nearest tens, the number rounds to 90. So which is the correct option? You can make two digits, 89 and 98, right? If you round off 98, it would be rounded off to 100. So 89 is rounded off to 90. The correct option is 89. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. So we're working on grade 3 math. The lesson we're working on is estimations and rounding. And lessons we have covered from the chapter is rounding nearest 10 or 100 only, rounding, then rounding money amounts, and the one we just did is rounding puzzles. So please make sure before the next session you can complete all the practice questions for the lessons we did today. So if you need more help with any of the lesson, you can contact any tutor on the Skype. They are available from Monday to Friday, 5 to 9, right? Okay, that's all for today. See you in the next session. Bye everyone.